highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hi everyone, welcome to another SC2AI stream. I am here with Raf, creator of Micro Machine.
Yeah, hi.
Yep. How's it going?
Good, and you?
Yeah, pretty good. We've had another fun week this week. So yeah, before we get going, I'll put the results up. Wait, that's the wrong window. I'll just yeah. So yeah, I think. Wait a sec. Wait, I've got the wrong one up again. Sorry, guys. There we go. Perfect capture. I'll move this over here. Sorry, guys. I should have really figured this out earlier. Anyway, as you can see, you were number one again, Raf. Congratulations.
Thank
Another
you.
victory for you this week. So that's what, 5 tournament entries so far? Unfortunately, you can only use one. So we'll get there. But yeah, congratulations again to Yamabushi. Three-Way Lover is now qualified for the tournament. Sharpened Edge in third, and obviously Gensibot in fourth at the moment. All of those have tournament entries. And if we look at the overall stats, you're now over 100 points ahead of the nearest competition.
That's usual.
Why do you do this to them? But yeah, so that's current standing. So congratulations. Like, how has it been? Utterly dominating the tournaments again.
Yeah, it's good that I don't have to update right now because I'm working on some changes that takes a long time, and it's good that I don't have to push another update just to be part of the tournament. So I
Yeah.
can just let my somewhat hold butt racks the win, and then I'll do my update later.
Yeah. So that's all good. So basically, you're just saving all of your updates, ready to destroy us right at the end.
Yeah, it's not updates that are really strong, but it's
Yeah.
like a lot of small bug fixes and changes in how I control my army, so I can make better use of all the component that my bot could do, but in the future.
Yeah.
A lot of refactor.
So who's your biggest challenge right now, beating?
Oh, it's Gensibot. Like half of the games against it in the AI arena ladder are won by him, and the other half by Micro Machine, and they are always very tight. And
Yeah,
it's a hard matchup.
it is. No, we had him on the first week, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
very, very tough bot, very, very well made. But
Yeah.
yeah, so let's look at a few replays, shall we?
Yeah.
I think the first one up is one against Perfect Split,
Okay.
which is 6-8, 6-8-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so Perfect Split's another one that's come back onto the ladder recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we had a season out last year, and so that's pretty. So we were much the poorer without him, unfortunately. But he's back this year with a bang. And also another bot that's already secured a tournament entry. Just getting this up a second. Sorry, could have been better prepared here. But yeah, so let me know when you're ready to go on that one.
Okay, I am.
Okay. Going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good.
Okay, so while I'm doing that, I will just put the game up, which should come up. There we go. So yeah, you're starting down here. Going for proxy cyclones again, I see.
Yeah, it seems to have worked always against Perfect Split
Yeah.
in the season.
So with Micro Machine, is it kind of like the case that you'll find like a winning strategy and then always use that same strategy until it loses, or is it?
Yeah, why change?
Exactly.
But as soon as there's a loss, it will try to find another strategy that will work.
Yeah. But yeah, I noticed Perfect Split's also been very proactive. I think that there's a lot of similarities between your bot and Perfect Split in the fact that you both will kind of like not do kind of like a whole lot of squad control. You'll just go in with a lot of individual units and get them out quite easily. But,
Yeah, it's possible. I haven't analyzed Perfect Split a lot, but I remember that when it was microing the Mutalisks, it was very good, and it really didn't control them as a flock, but rather all individuals.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, when it's like that, it's very difficult, kind of like, especially if bots are controlling as unit groups, to figure out exactly which ones to attack and which ones to pull back. So, maybe that's the trick. But
Yeah, for bots, it really doesn't change much that units are microed individually, but for human, it's pretty hard
yeah,
to defend against that because they'll attack from everywhere at the same time.
yeah, it's the same old problem that humans don't have 100,000 APM limit.
Yeah.
I wish I did. Alas, no. Might be able to get me out of into the Plat League.
Okay, so my Reaper
Yeah.
is starting to get some kills.
Yeah, I think one down there, which was good. So I do like the way Perfect Split is controlling the drones there. Doesn't give you an easy time of it.
Yeah, the difficulty to focus on one.
Yeah, it's one of the things that people find very hard against Micro Machine is the early Reaper harass. Like I think if we look at the losses, I think it's just one drone and two Zerglings there. So that's actually a pretty good result there for
Yeah.
Perfect Split.
Uh-huh.
So I think we
Yeah,
seem to.
the Zorg of Tyr is able to lose absolutely nothing. So or Zorg bot, it's possible to to counter the proxy Reaper.
Yeah. But I think we see now that Perfect Split's coming over, trying to get some damage on your barracks there. But
Yeah, and now I have a Cyclone, which is not that good against
yeah,
Zergling.
yeah, that's not really the best counter to Zerglings. The lock-ons
No.
will do a lot of damage, but still.
It's a long cooldown for a single Zergling.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think that your early rush here has been pretty effectively countered. But you do get another Cyclones out. And it's something that Micro Machine does very well. It's like you never lose Cyclones, like or very rarely at least.
Well, if Perfect Split was more focusing on the Cyclone instead of the factory,
Yeah,
could have destroyed both of them because the Speedlings are a lot faster than
yeah,
the Cyclones. And now I'm trying to kill them with a single alien.
that's
Kind of work, but not that much.
yeah. Hellions are generally pretty good, but like it's just the case that one of them isn't really going to do the trick at that point.
Yeah.
I think you might lose that Hellion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
just
just
about.
moving around in the Zergling.
Yep. And the Cyclone might go down as well. Wow. So yeah, quite a result there for Perfect Split, I think.
The Banshee wants to go in, but doesn't have the cloak yet.
No. But I think you could probably take down that Queen. Is that something that you specifically wait for the cloak to come in before attacking
No,
that?
no, it get notified when the cloak is over and is done, and it's able to use it. But if just before that, it just considers it attack speed and damage and the health it remain and its opponent. So I think it thought that it could win against the queen, but then it decided that it was not worth.
Yeah, I think the logic of how you do that, you see kind of like, because I noticed the kind of sorry, sorry, just got a phone call. But yeah, so your barracks is just taking out. And I noticed the spore crawler was coming down at the same time, so I was wondering if you're taking that into account as well, possibly.
Yeah, usually if other units are coming towards my unit that is fighting, they'll also be considered, and my unit will take a decision if it wants
Yeah.
to continue fighting or if it needs to retreat.
So you're getting a fair bit of damage done here, but I wouldn't say it's kind of like the normal devastating damage here. As you take
Yeah,
out the
it's
queen.
just the harassment that Terran are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like if Terran doesn't harass like this, they'll just lose badly in the end.
Yeah, it's Terran doesn't do very well in the turtle game. Like I've noticed a lot of
The
Protoss spots.
the Banshees received a lot of damage that shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I think it's the bug I fixed in my latest changes.
That's good. But yeah, so
Again,
you see a lot of Protoss bots. They're very kind of like turtley, and they'll turtle up and come across the map only when they're ready. But like, I don't think that would really work for Terran, would it?
no.
But yeah.
Unless you go a lot macro and you still need to know what your opponent is doing. So
Yeah.
because you can't like build 3 bases in 4 minutes thinking everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah. Unless you just start building mass battle cruisers, which is
It takes quite a while.
yeah. Oh. But yeah, I've seen your bot do that before, especially in the tournament games against Gensi bot, where you were just messing up battle cruisers. That was quite fun.
And now in this game it still wants to do that too.
Yeah.
It's already researching the Yamato cannon.
Yeah, I see that in the queue. I'm wondering if we're going to see that.
There's a lot of Zergling now, but fortunately I have some 5 alien at base.
Should be enough to deal with it, I reckon.
I think this version waits to have 8 or 10 aliens before they send it to the enemy base.
Yeah. Those poor Zerglings. Why do you pick on those poor Zerglings?
They could flee, and if they knew that there was some units in the air that were nearby, like my bot would use the influence map and know that there are threats in the air and just would try to move out of the way.
Yeah.
So
is there a priority on these Banshees at the moment? Are they prioritizing any?
Yeah, I thought they would prioritize the workers, but I guess I shouldn't. I should check my priority function.
Yeah. So here come the Hellions, and that's a lot of fried Zergling right there.
Yeah. And then my blue frame upgrade.
Oh yeah,
and now
just straight in there. Yeah, that's some fried Zergling for dinner.
And if you see the amount of minerals Perfect Split had as the moment, I think it's a bit of a problem. It shouldn't have over 1,000 minerals.
Yeah, it's like 1,200 now, so they're all coming in to all get fried.
It made a lair, so it should be able to build a spire and make Mutalisk, which would be very strong against my composition.
Yeah.
I guess something wrong happened in Perfect Split.
Yeah, I don't see the Spire coming up. It's not very inspiring. But sorry, I had to. Yeah, so
now battle cruiser is there.
There we go, coming in now. Oh, this doesn't look very good for Perfect Split.
Yeah, it's gonna be over soon.
Yeah, so I think with this game, it's kind of like you just constantly harassing and never gave Perfect Split really that chance to get onto the higher tech that he had.
It still managed to buy some time by making a lot of Zergling and pushing through my Cyclones. But if it didn't bug, the game would have been a lot longer with good air exchange.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe something for next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Banshees is something you've relied on pretty much since the very early days when you when you made Micro Machine, and they're still very very effective.
Yeah.
As we see the most not exactly a necessary Yamato there, but no,
Just wanted to use
GG.
it before a game end.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's good. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's something like you've relied on Banshees a lot, and like they're very good units pretty much against any composition. Is it something you build into every single game, or is it just like
Not now because against Protoss there's the Proxima Rotor build,
yeah,
and in this build I don't produce the Banshees because it would be too many units that only attack ground. So
yeah,
it would be my butt would be in a bad shape if the enemy were building like
yeah,
Phoenix or Tempest.
yeah? Okay, that's cool. Um, so I want to have a look at one of your games against Three Way Lover, um,
All right.
which came up this week.
Mhm.
So that's another one. I know that you've had problems in the past with Three Way Lover. Uh,
Yeah, it used to do a lot of Tempest, but these times they seem to not quite be there every game.
yeah, it's something I know Yamabushi updates really regularly, and he basically tries to get into situations where he can obviously beat out most of the bots. But yeah, give me a shout when you're ready to go.
It's loading.
Cool. We will hold on for that one.
We've seen recently that River Lover was doing a lot of one base build with uh, a how to call that, like a closed wall.
Yeah.
But let's see if it does that against Terran. Okay, I'm ready.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it looks like you're going to go for early expand here.
Early expand. Okay, so I guess that's the build that worked most of the time,
Yeah.
or maybe it's the first time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's shown. It's 1-0. It's
Yeah.
1-0 with early expand.
So do you try to make sort of like certain builds to just sort of like counter certain bots, or is it just going for a more kind of like generalized style?
Usually, I take the bot that my bot has a lot of uh, difficulty against, like maybe one that is able to counter all of my strategies, and then if it wins by just a little, I'll just uh, adapt my strategy to make it work against that bot. But sometimes, like with tier, the proxy cyclone build just didn't work at all. So I decided to create the Proxima Rotor build, and
Yeah.
it's quite efficient. Like if the Protoss is not prepared to get attacked by like three Marauders by 2 minutes 30, then it's just dead right away.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty timing right there.
Yeah, you
But
need
yeah,
you need really specific answers to be able to contain the attack, and then after that, uh, like in
yeah,
the version that is running right now, if it would have done the Proxy Marauder build and it would have failed, then all the next Marauders would have come one by one and died one by one. But now with the latest update that I have, they'll decide to stop attacking and come back later.
yeah. That's probably a lot better. But yeah, so we basically have Tier to thank for your proxy marauders.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tier. But no, it's so I was looking at it. How many approximate strategies do you have at the moment for early game?
I think I have 4, but I have 5 with the worker rush, which I disabled at the moment.
Yeah,
But in the version that is playing in this season, the build is still active.
Okay. So, and is it just kind of like the early game you work out with that build, or do you kind of like follow the build all the way through?
Yeah, I have a build order that is defined by the early strategy, and then after a few minutes, usually, the build order will adapt more or less to what the opponent has built.
Okay. So at what point does that kind of like swap over, or is it just kind of like more of adaptive on the fly?
Yeah, I would try to make it more adaptive and counter every unit with what Terran can do, but there's still a lot of units in Terran that I haven't coded.
Yeah.
So, but like Marines and Marauders are pretty essential for the Terran composition, and
Yeah.
I'm just starting to have them working properly.
Yeah, I've noticed you don't tend to have a lot of large marine compositions in your army.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Something
think
Gensubat loves to do.
I think
A
once you
lot
get
of
that
money.
in, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to counter you.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So now in the game, uh, my Reaper didn't do much. I think it killed 2 workers,
yeah.
and I've lost one.
I mean, that's still not the worst trade, but I don't think this other Reaper here is going to get a lot done, unfortunately.
At least I'm on 2 base, and True Whatever is on only 1.
Yeah,
But it has a lot of stalkers for what I have now. I have only 1 Cyclone at base.
I think we see in the army supply that it's just 10 army supply to 21 at the moment, so you're
Yeah.
quite a way behind on that.
Yeah.
Um,
And it also have an observer, which will counter my
yeah,
cloaked banshees.
yeah, that's going to be problematic. But I
But
do like the way that you pop the Cyclone just popped the shield of the Immortal there with the bomb. So it's not going to do much for him.
now I'm producing a Raven instead of uh, a Banshee.
Yeah,
I don't have priorities on unit to be built from the same building, so sometimes it will be one, sometimes it will be the other. So
yeah,
it's different game. It's different every game. So
yeah.
make a little bit of randomness.
So this is kind of what I was saying earlier about like how some bots just control the entire army as one. And I think Three-Way Lover is kind of like that, but like it's obviously split in two at the moment.
Yeah, like there's 2 fights at the same time. There's
Yeah,
the stalker chasing the raven at the bottom, and in the center there's a lot of stalkers and immortals that
yeah,
seems to be distracted by reapers.
yeah. They're just chasing this Cyclone around, but that Cyclone's going to run straight into the other Stalkers and
Oh,
probably go down. Oh, that
it
was a
was
bad
close.
loss. So yeah, that's so
They're
that
still chasing the raven.
yeah.
The raven just have no way of coming back to base.
It's like a cat with a laser pointer on this, isn't it? It's just can't stop.
I coded something for the raven to drop turret when it get chased, but it doesn't seem to work
Yeah.
often.
So now you have the cloaked banshee out, but like, I think there's an observer somewhere around. Yeah,
Yeah,
just over there.
the raven can see it sometimes, but there's nothing to kill it.
Oof, nice. So yeah, there's a nice
There's
pick
an
off on the
immortal
wall.
in my base right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think you just picked it off. It's fine. That's a good pick off, but I think this army is quite huge at the moment. We're seeing 45 army supply to 18.
a lot of stalkers.
Yeah. So I think it's something that's possibly quite strong against your composition is just mass up stalkers here.
Yeah, like the barracks is producing nothing while it should have been producing marauders. Like
Yeah,
a good player would have been producing marauders or maybe tanks. Tanks if the stalker don't have blink.
yeah. So I think Blink here would be very, very powerful against this composition as well, because
Yeah.
as I was saying earlier, something that your bot does very well is it backs away on low health, Go gets repaired and everything like that. Whereas if you had Blink here as the Protoss army, you could pretty much negate that straight away.
Exactly.
But yeah. Oh no, don't get stuck here. So yeah, once he's on top of your production, it's not looking good for you.
Yeah, I still have a few units, but they
Yeah,
seem to don't want to get repaired. They wait to be really low life before going into the mineral line and get repaired.
yeah. So do you always have your units go back to the mineral line for repair, or is it just kind of like, do you ever get them repaired out in the field?
No, not in the field, always in the mineral line.
Yeah.
But then also in the proxy location,
Yeah,
there's usually a single worker that stands there and just wait for cyclones to come get repaired.
yeah,
But now the banshees are killing a lot of stalkers because the observer is next to the turret.
ah, yes, of course. So the observer actually can't get in.
Yeah, that's what a little mistake that cost him a lot of stalkers.
Yeah, and now you've actually got a good chance. You're still down to just 8 workers though, so it's probably going to be a problem there.
Yeah, but even though Free Whatever has a lot more workers, it only has 4 mineral patch left.
Yeah, and only on a single base still. So yeah. But like Three-Way Lover really needs to go back right now and go get himself another base. But I think he just looks like he's just sending these stalkers in one by one, which is a problem for him.
And also with the upgrade on the cyclones, the stalker now dies very fast.
Yeah,
Like 4 hits, it only take like 4 seconds, and it's gone.
yeah, it's the lock-ons on against stalkers are very nasty. And even this Banshee looks like it's taking down stalkers quite fast. But yeah, I think a blink on the stalkers here would be amazing.
Yeah.
So when you get down to this low worker count, do you start like rebuilding a lot more workers, or is it just kind of like?
No, it doesn't change the way my bot is. It doesn't change the behavior of my bot. It will always try to build the maximum workers it can
Okay.
with every base all the time, unless there are, I think, something like 80 workers.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number to have. But yeah,
Now,
so
for some reason, there's an SCV that's building a missile turret between my 2 bases. Would have been good to have it sooner, but you know.
it's still pretty good to have it. But
The
yeah,
observer is still alive. It's amazing.
yeah, still just hanging out with the crowd.
They're moving pretty fast in this version. No, this is the
This is the latest
this is
patch.
the version that are moving slow.
No, I think this is latest patch. So are they still moving fast? Yeah. Although it looks like you need to repair that command center.
Yeah, but I'm low on minerals, so I don't know if a worker will decide to come.
No, it's gone.
Oh, there was a worker that was on his way, but
Yeah.
the command center got destroyed before.
So I think the problem with Three-Way Lover here is just sending stalkers one after the other.
Yeah.
We've still got just
But
4
if
mineral
it
patches.
didn't, I would still be on 2 bases.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it could have changed its behavior to that. If it masked up stalkers, I would also have masked up units. But
Yeah.
it really should have been on the second base, like after 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you get to 12 minutes and you haven't expanded, there's more than a few problems there.
Yeah.
And I think we see, you've now got like a superior army by a long way, and
Yeah.
looks like these workers here are going to get massacred, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So yeah, nice,
Pretty much.
nice comeback here.
Mhm. Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah,
A lot of things could have gone in the opposite direction. Like
yeah,
I think the biggest difference would have been the position of the observer. If it would have been into my main base with the rest of the stalkers instead of in the third with a few stalkers that were just destroying an empty base, my
yeah,
banshees would have been able to clean up all these stalkers.
yeah, and it's something that Protoss needs to get right on that. But yeah, as I was saying, like it, Protoss, like bots like three-way lava generally tend to sort of like turtle up a lot on a single base. So it's something I've got like a single base all-in type strategy, and now. So I notice here you're very much targeting all the pylons and everything. Is that? I guess that's a deliberate strategy, just to take all
Yeah,
the power.
but it's not because they give power, and I just want to clear the power. It's just because they have lowest amount of health.
Ah, okay. So I'm going to go forward on this quickly now because
Pretty
yeah,
much order.
another
That
nice
will
win.
be the next game. I can load it a bit faster.
I mean, it's up to you. We can put the wait a second. We can put the Strelok one on if you like. That might be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get that loaded up.
And I've seen another game against Three Lover this week where my bot chose to do the Proxima Rotor strategy,
Okay.
and Three Lover reacted very well. It built, I think, 3 shield battery in its main, and then produced immortals. And that's perfect against the Proxima Rotor.
Do you want me
So
to?
that's
Should we take a look at that one? Can do if you like.
yeah, we can download it.
Okay. I think. Do you want me to send that to you, or have you already got it?
Do we watch it right now or after this one?
Okay, let's go for this one first then.
Yeah.
So I'll load it up now. All right. Give me 1 sec. Let me know when you're ready to go. But yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cool. Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So.
Oh, 10% win.
It's not good. But like I know
This time it didn't show what it was gonna do.
No.
But it's just because of a display bug that sometimes the game have when
I think I can see what you're going to do.
I guess that's
Yeah.
the only build that worked in this season against that bot.
Yeah.
Just try to do it every time.
I know Strelok's one you've had a lot of trouble with.
Yeah.
So what particularly about Strelok is sort of like so difficult to deal with, do you think?
I don't know. I should watch other replays. I haven't been very attentive, but like
Yeah.
I've seen it doesn't react properly against the worker rush.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've dropped that strategy.
Looks like it's going quite well for you anyway.
Yeah, but like it's a strategy that I don't like to put time on.
Yeah. It's a fun strategy to use occasionally.
Yeah, against Terran it's not that bad, but against Protoss it's just so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I find that Protoss is very difficult to hold, so... there we go. See, Strelok's having this weird thing of just keep loading and unloading workers out of there. Which...
I wonder if it's something it decided to do to protect itself against.
I don't know, but it seems to confuse you.
Yeah, The targeting is changing on every frame.
I love the dance here. It's you know what? I'm just going to fast forward this a bit because so this is a lot of fun. But oh, it's found another worker. There we go. Oh no, it's unloaded. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep fast forwarding this because this will go on for a while, guys.
Oh, but
Oh
yeah,
no, it's losing
after a
it.
few minutes, all the workers are gone.
But wait, it's found a marine. Where did that marine come from? Oh,
Yeah, it built a proxy,
yes.
proxy barracks.
Entirely missed that. But it looks like the workers are actually doing a good job. Oh, oh this
Yeah,
marine micro is not quite good enough.
yeah. The Marines are slower than workers, so they can't kite them well.
And you've got your own SCVs repairing each other, which is
Yeah,
it's fun.
but there's nothing that tells them to check the other bases after. Like,
Yeah.
this was supposed to be a really simple strategy, and I don't want to get into complex cases like this one.
No, it's fun though. So, spoiler, guys, all these SCVs end up just bouncing up and down here for 45 minutes. So I'm not going to show the entire game,
Yeah.
but I just thought I'd throw that one in there as a fun little side strategy. But no, that's so. Is that the kind of one you use after everything else fails?
Yeah, I think it's the last one.
Yeah. So you've had quite a few problems up against Strelok.
Yeah.
So yeah, should we show the other one up against
Yeah.
three-way lover? I
Yeah.
think that was the one on Zen, wasn't it?
Um,
Just check
check.
them. Do you want me to send that to
Okay.
you quickly?
Yeah, on Zen.
Okay, I'll load that up now.
Me too.
Cool. But yeah, I've noticed Tyr was the first one with the worker rush, and since then everyone's sort of like had their own version of it. I'm not sure whose is best. Maybe we could have a tournament sometime where we just everyone does worker rushes. Maybe that's something everyone might be fun to do.
Yeah, maybe some people want to put time in this, but I would just keep my worker rush like this.
That sounds good. Give me a
I
shout.
prefer to improve the behavior of my bot that would try to beat GM players.
Yeah. Might struggle with that on the worker rush count.
Yeah, I don't think the worker rush have a good chance against GM players.
Yeah. Give me a shout when you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So going for proxy marauders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
seems to have worked 8 times.
yeah.
Yeah.
But not the 9th. Yeah. So is the proxy position up here hard-coded, or is that just like a random find somewhere nearby kind of thing?
I checked the pathing of the workers. Like, if the enemy would choose to send a worker in my base, then I check where it would go.
Yeah.
And every bases that are close to the path that the worker would take, I filter them out. So it's gonna be a bit farther. So I think I take the 3 closest base. But there are places that are not close to a base location that would be better for a proxy location. But I decided to not pass too much time on the map parsing.
Yeah. I mean, it's something you definitely can spend a lot of time on if you're.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So now I just take a random a random position from the 3 closest base location that are viable.
Yeah. That seems to work. I say, I mean, Is bots generally don't tend to scout sort of like that kind of like area around there.
I think
Something.
there's sharpened edge that used to scout a bit near its base, and sometimes it can just shut down my proxy strategy.
Yeah.
But I have fallback code that will just continue the game at my own base.
Yeah. So you got the Reaper coming out first. I'm guessing like every strategy pretty much just send the Reaper in. You'll get a couple of quick kills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one down.
But I've talked with HJax, and he told me that the first Reaper like this is not a good idea because it's delaying the Marauders that are usually better against the early units of the Protoss.
Yeah.
So this Reaper is something I removed from my latest Proxy Marauder strategy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. It's like the faster you can get them in there, probably the better. As you see here, like he's got one Stalker out, and you know,
I have only one Marauder now, and it's already 3 minutes.
yeah. So I did see as soon as he sees the Marauder coming out, he's got immediately a shield battery down.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna lose. Oh, that's not good. He lost the first Stalker.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think once he gets a couple of shield batteries out, he's going to be pretty good against this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to lose another one. Ooh.
And now this is not something the Marauders can kill easily.
No.
It
Having
just
the
got
Immortal out.
destroyed completely.
Yeah. The Immortal, especially with shield batteries there, is going to be very, very difficult to deal with.
And now my Marauders are still trying to
Yeah.
push, which is not a good idea against this
Yeah.
competition.
It looks like one of those scenes where all the like soldiers are fleeing from the giant great robot death machine.
Mm-hmm.
But he's found your proxy position now as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm wondering if like when your marauders are running away, they're running back towards the proxy position, whether that was like a good idea or.
I think they are backing just the nearest location where there's no enemy influence.
Yeah.
So there sometimes they're backing in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But they still get out of danger for a little time. But
Yeah.
now there's unit just all over the place, so there's nowhere that's really safe for them. They should just go back to base.
At this point, that pretty much effectively shut down the proxy.
Yeah, but now I'm on 2 base, and Lover is only on 1.
Yeah.
And it's used a lot of resources to build the shield batteries, but it still have 2 Marauders, 2 Immortals.
Yeah.
No, 3 now.
Yeah, having those Immortals out is very useful, pretty much against everything you've got at the moment.
Yeah. But now I'm researching the Cyclone upgrade. Can be good against those units, but the Cyclone need to survive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the things with if you get caught with 3 Immortals, if they all shoot you at the same time, the Cyclone's dead anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, you can probably pick one off one at a time if three-way lover gives you the chance, but then I don't think he's
with good micro, the Immortals shouldn't die because it's super easy to do micro against the Cyclones. You just at the very same time you get targeted, you can know it, and you just back your unit back to base, and you just get out of the Cyclone range. So
yeah, I mean, having said that, the Cyclone range is pretty long, so with good Cyclone micro, you can keep within that range and possibly do that.
This is only if you don't have any other units to push with it.
Yeah,
So like if you have stalkers like this, they can still continue to push while
yeah,
you back your targeted unit. Like
yeah.
just the
I,
right now the
I
the
think you're
immortal
gonna,
might die while it
yeah,
could have
see
survived
one
very
going down, yeah. So, but
second one now.
you still have a bunch of immortals there doing a lot of damage. Suddenly, if you look at the losses, you're up at 21 SCVs gone down, so and you're back on kind of even worker count. And I think that cyclone is probably going to go down.
Oh,
Yep, there we go. And you can see Three-Way Lover still has a bunch of immortals there. Yeah.
and I have no units.
Not much army supply going on there. That Raven isn't really going to do a lot for you, unfortunately.
Yeah. It should have been a Banshee instead.
Yeah. The Banshees are going to do quite a bit of work here, but those Stalkers are probably going to be able to take it out with that Observer there.
Yeah, the Observer is quite a problem.
Yeah.
There's the Raven that could help destroying the Observer, but the Observer
Yeah.
is well placed and often
Yeah.
out of danger.
But yeah, you see Three-Way Lover is building up a little bit of a bank on you as well.
Yeah, now my I don't know why Micro Machine is building a lot of turrets. It's not like they will do something.
There's not many air units from Three-Way Lover, certainly. I mean, an Immortal is pretty much the least air unit you could probably ever get. Like, although I do find it annoying when you're building Colossus as well, that air turrets can shoot Colossus and stuff like that. That's cheating, I think. But yeah, it looks like you're in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I won't survive for long.
No, just that Banshee there, if you can keep it safe maybe, but
While I keep it safe, it doesn't destroy anything.
no, and you're losing workers very fast as well.
They try to get out of the danger, but
Yeah, there's just 5 workers left, that's going to be a problem. So, down to your last
almost,
worker.
almost everything is dead now.
Yeah, I think we can probably
My
fast forward.
Banshees were almost enough. Maybe if the Banshee was made instead of the Raven at the beginning,
Yeah,
maybe it would have been different.
yeah. So I think you've got 3 minerals. So you can still put down some things, some mules to actually get some minerals, but not.
Yeah.
But
Not
with
for
just
long, with only 4, oh no, 5
yeah,
patches, I mean. And then my mule is repairing a cyclone instead of gathering.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to run out of minerals for repair as well.
Yeah.
Um,
It repairs for a bit, and then it takes some minerals, and then it start repairing.
yeah. Okay.
I guess we can fast forward it.
Yeah, I can fast forward this one, I guess. I think he's just going to come in and eventually he'll take you down. Like, but
My units are able to defend, but they're not defending much.
yeah. But yeah, he's just like, you've not got any workers. You could do it with mules, but not quite, unfortunately. As the BM base float as well.
And after 15 minutes, True Lover cannot gather minerals anymore. Oh no,
Yeah.
it goes into the
Yeah,
second place.
It won't have a base there, but it will go there. But that's good. GG. But yeah, I think you see there, like Three-Way Lover did have quite a good response to the Marauder strategy, like you were saying, so it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
And it's something obviously with proxies, if they get shut down, it does put you in a very weak position if you get a very aggressive enemy. And I think that's kind of somewhere where Micro Machine does quite well. Is like even if your initial proxy gets shut down, you've still got the ability to come back and defend against some pretty crazy all-ins. So
yeah, but it still can be improved. Like after the initial push with the Marauders and the loss of my proxy location, I've stopped producing Marauders while they would have been somewhat useful against the Stalkers. But yeah.
Yeah, but Marauders are very good against Stalkers as well, so that would have. But yeah, Cyclones rather. Yeah, sorry, saying Marauder. So yeah, there's one other I'd like to go through, if that's all right with you, which is the matchup against Sharpened Edge.
Yes.
I will load that up now. Give me a shout when you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
Cool. I'm just loading it myself. Okay. Just let me put the overlay up. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So obviously Sharpened Edge is the Protoss spot up here. Immediate sort of like chrono boost on the Nexus, which probably not that useful, but never mind.
Well, it gives an edge on the economy side.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I entirely missed what your strategy was, but Sharpened Edge is going to come in with a cannon rush.
Yeah, it's still it was still the display bug that didn't show what I was doing. I should take like 5 minutes to fix this.
I'm sure you've got more important things to do.
I have a lot of important things to do.
Oh, that's good.
Like on GitHub, I have a lot of issues, and I usually every time I close an issue, I add 2 more.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, I think we saw a match in, I think it was week 2, where you ended up losing up against this. Or was it last week? I can't remember. You ended up losing up against Cannon Rush because I think you were sending all of your SCVs straight into it one by one, trying to get out.
Yeah. It's not the Micro Machine doesn't have the best reaction against the Cannon Rush. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to choose when you need to just ignore them, or you need to just send a few workers, or you just need to send almost all your workers. So I guess I would need a lot of experience against that to know what should be done.
Yeah.
But I haven't played a lot, so I don't know.
So it's not something you've looked at sort of like more recently to try and fix a couple of the weaknesses, or?
Cannon Rush is not in my priority right now, but
Yeah.
mainly because Gensibat cannot do Cannon Rush.
Don't say that too fast. He's listening in chat. I'm sure he'll do his best.
But now we see that my bot is floating minerals because it probably chose the early expand strategy, but now the expansion location is blocked by the cannon, so it just does nothing with its minerals.
Yeah.
So I think what I have coded was after 3 minutes, it will decide to change its strategy.
Okay. So we see the Reaper coming across the map now. I think that's it's a bit later than normal, but I think the first Reaper was killed off by the cannons, wasn't it? Anyway, so yeah, see if this gets much done. I've noticed Sharpened Edge hasn't really expanded from this position here. Like he's just kind of sitting there, happy to contain you.
Yeah, the cannons are pretty costly, so it's hard to expand at the same time.
Yeah. But I think it's 150 minerals for every cannon, so Yeah, not that I know a lot about cannon rushes, of course. Yeah. My first bot was a cannon rusher. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was
Now
in.
my Reaper is at 4 kills, 5 kills now.
Yes, getting quite a lot of work has done there. And Sharpened Edge is still on just 18 workers now.
Okay, so now there's the factory that is almost over.
Yeah,
The cyclones will be coming soon.
yeah, it's still not quite managed to dealt with that cannon position there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to
Yeah,
to destroy those cannons with anything from the barracks.
so I've noticed this other Reaper is getting stuck on the gateway there. I'm not sure if that's kind of like a bug you've looked at.
No, it's well, I don't know why it's chosen to hit the pylon instead of the workers, but it's not a it was not a too bad of an idea to destroy the pylon,
No,
but it should have uh, destroy workers instead because it's way too long to destroy a pylon.
yeah, I mean if you take out that pylon there, that takes out both those gateways and the forge. So yeah, it's definitely a good shout to take it down. But yeah, your Reaper's now getting in some serious work.
Yeah, the both the adepts are chasing my
Yeah,
Reapers, but they're slow and they're not using their
the
shade. So
shade, yeah. But yeah, it looks like you're finally going to get take down this cannon anyway and get that cyclone out.
yeah, cyclones are very good to destroy the cannons.
Yeah,
They can kill it with just one hit. Well, they receive the one hit and can kill one.
yeah, just get the
Just
single
one
one.
rocket.
Yeah. But no, so now you're in a pretty good position despite the early cannon rush. You've got like 27 workers to 19 and a bunch of cyclones and reapers out.
Oh yeah, and now my Reapers are dead, I think, because there was
Yes,
a Stalker that
yeah,
came out finally. Should have been the first unit that came out of the gateway instead of I think there was uh, one zealot and then two adepts and then the
yeah.
stalker.
Yeah, stalkers are pretty much a hard counter to reapers at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've noticed the reapers find some nice positions to jump up around here as well. Is that something that caused a lot of problems specifically on this map because you've got the kind of like jump up area where you have to jump up 2 levels there?
yeah. This is something that my Reapers will be able to use to get up, but often they won't be able to use it to get down because if they want to get down, it's because there are enemies nearby, and when
Yeah,
there are enemies nearby, the Reaper will choose precisely where it clicks to move, and it doesn't understand that the two stories are jumpable. It only understands when there's one story that's jumpable.
yeah. So I'm not sure if there's many other places on any other maps like that. So
I don't know from this map pool, but from the previous one, there was two maps I think that had this kind of
yeah,
thread, and this is something that is very hard to consider because the middle one is not patable, so it's hard to.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's very hard to actually detect that unless you
Yeah.
just hard code it in. But yeah, I'm guessing that there's few enough that, I mean, possibly hard coding that might be the better option in that respect.
Yeah, maybe. But it's like Reapers aren't winning the games by themselves usually.
Yeah,
So if I use like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours every time there's a new map pool or hard coding these, and then passing a few hours to choose how to consider my hard coded position.
yeah.
I prefer putting my time on other features.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's very difficult because one of the things about making bots is there's a limited amount of time, and
Yeah.
you know, as much as I'd love to spend my time doing everything, then
Hmm.
there's especially in my work. So yeah, I think we can just fast forward this now and
Yeah.
get
Sharpened
it
Edge,
there.
I've outputted its losing
Oh,
cat 9.
that poor sharpened edge. So GG.
Gee.
Cool. So I think that was the last game that I wanted to go through. I don't know if you've found any others that you specifically want to look at or
No, I don't think so.
cool. Okay. But yeah, so basically, it looks like you're making a lot of progress on there. So, how are you doing in the kind of like thing of trying to beat a GM? Is H Jack
I,
scared yet?
they don't need to be scared yet. I think there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be done. But have
Yeah,
you seen the video of Alex007 on YouTube?
yeah,
Like the GM, a Russian GM player
yeah.
that plays random, so it can test my butt with multiple race, and it made some great games because my butt is getting like quite good to play some long games against GM, but at some point there's always a flaw that is too easy for the GM to use. So my bot can usually doesn't win, but I'm fixing all these flaws one by one, and
Yeah,
then it will be the power level of a GM.
yeah. It's a very kind of like gradual process and just kind of like trying to get everything into the bot that you need.
Mhm.
And
But
it's
sometimes it's limitation of how my bot work, and I need to do like a big refactor to be able like mostly it's how I was using my units in the form of an army instead of like choosing a few units that could stick together and attack and decide to back. I was like putting all my units in the same squad, but they are not always together, so it's really hard to manage. So now I've changed that to use different squad for different purpose, and now it's gonna be easier to like uh, harass with only banshees while I have marauders that tries to attack another spot and
yeah,
things like that, and also to decide when I should stop to attack and only harass. And yeah,
yeah.
with this it will be a lot harder for GM to win against my bot.
Yeah, because I've noticed that your bot doesn't tend to do a lot of complete all-ins. It will just kind of like do little bits of harassment and then kind of
Mhm.
like eventually mass up an army and go in.
Yeah,
And that's
now
some,
it's gonna happen a lot more often that it's gonna mass up the army because it see what the opponent has, and then if my current army is not enough, I'm gonna keep my unit at base up until my units are strong enough to beat what I've seen.
yeah,
But I wait a little bit more just to make sure I can also beat what would have been added to the enemy composition, and then I attack back.
yeah,
And when I see the enemy army, then I decide again if I should back or continue attacking.
yeah. So what kind of like units are you going to add next? Because I know you're not really making a lot of uses of like the marine tank pushers and stuff like that. Is that something that you want to add in there a bit more, or is it kind of like,
I'd like to use tank one day, but I'm not ready yet. I've coded the use of medivacs,
yeah,
so they're going to be used in my in some of my strategies, but
yeah,
I still don't have a good bio strat like Genspot have.
yeah? So no kind of like massive marine drops in their base then coming up.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I'm not sure I'm gonna have time before
Yeah,
the Pro Buzz tournament. Maybe I'll have time before the SC2AI tournament.
yeah. Well, we've got 6 more weeks left of the ladder, so
Yeah, that might be enough.
plenty of time. No, that's cool. But yeah, so Micro Machine is currently massively dominating on SC2 AI, massively dominating on Probots. You're probably like you're top of the league on AI Arena as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's just all you gotta do now is beat a GM. Like,
Yeah, that's my goal.
cool.
Like against Alex007, there's a game that my bot won, but it was against a cheese that a GM player would probably not do usually. It
Yeah.
was the proxy battle cruiser.
So
That's
is that your
a good
main
cheese.
motivation now, and not just staying number one on
Yeah.
all
So I
the
need
other
to.
tournaments?
I always need to consider how much processing power my bot need, because in against GM, my bot needs to be able to perform well in real time.
Yeah.
That's a bit harder to develop, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm getting there.
Yeah, so one thing I've been working on with my bot, as I was talking about before the stream, is like using multi-threading to
Hmm.
process a lot of the actions as well as like doing the on-step. So the
Hmm.
actions are going to be in the kind of like threads, whereas like the on-step is going to be in the main thread.
Yeah,
Maybe that kind of like can produce a bit of a speed up and help you guys a bit. I
yeah,
have to admit I've stolen a lot of your code for Gumbies as well, so hopefully not too much. So maybe I can give you a bit back.
yeah, maybe.
We'll see
But
anyway.
yeah, it's pretty hard to use multi-threading and
Yeah.
like to copy multi-threading. It's pretty like deep into the code and every individual bots, so
Yeah,
it's hard to copy.
we'll see anyway. It'll be fun.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so I wish you the best of luck in defeating all the GMs.
thank
Thank
you.
you very much for coming on and sharing all your secrets.
My
And
pleasure.
hopefully, encourage a few other bots to come on and take your crown, maybe. And
Yeah, I hope so, because in I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, there was the end of the Kingslayer challenge on AI
yeah.
Arena, and my bot won, but it's slain no king, so it's a bit
Oh,
strange.
the king wins the Kingslayer challenge.
Yeah.
The king is dead, long live the king. Ugh, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so thanks very much for coming on. So we'll be back next week. So if your bot hasn't been profiled on one of our streams yet and you want it to be profiled, let me know, give me a shout. We're more than happy to have people on. Otherwise, I'll be grabbing other people and forcing them to do it, which would be cool. So make sure everyone tunes in next week. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.